was a great fight, marred by what I saw as a terrible decision. I had Badou Jack clearly ahead in his what was a unification title fight at super middleweight. It was a really solid fight, a fun fight to watch, a lot of action, pretty good back and forth. But in the mid to late rounds, I just felt like Badou Jack took over the fight. He took over with his body work. He took over with just better overall technical ability. Everything was short, sharp, and clean. Whereas James Degale, most of his work was largely very wide. And while that's nice, for the judges, like it's easy to see and everything, and it kind of makes a big impression in terms of they see that you're really putting a lot of effort into your punches, looping them and all that stuff, and they're coming fast and flashy. Most of them really weren't landing all that cleanly, and even sometimes when they were, those clean shots were in spurts. They were in spurts during rounds where Badou Jack was able to largely control the overall pacing and the just like the ring generalship aspects of the round. He was able to control the distance and everything. I thought his jab was sharper. I thought the body work was extremely impressive. He was just slowly breaking Degale down to the body, really exposing Degale's overall kind of gas tank issues that he's shown in the past. He's shown some stamina, some conditioning issues in the past. But I think Jack very much made his impression felt on this fight. Similar to the way that Degale's last fight was against Medina. I thought the body work from Medina was really just harming Degale in a major way, and I felt like that was going to be a key proponent of Badou Jack's overall strategy in this fight, and it definitely was. I mean, to me, it's basically what got him the win. The judges, they scored it majority draw. Two judges had it a draw. The third one had it for Degale. I think by, what was it, about 1 or 2 points? Can't remember off the top of my head. But honestly, to me, like this was a clear Badou Jack win. Like 115, 111, 116, 110 type shit. Like I thought he pretty much took over in the latter half of the fight, and just technically outskilled Degale. He showed that just because you're flashy and athletic and agile, that can't always just negate just pure technical textbook boxing. The classics, the fundamentals. You know what I mean? It's like if Degale was trying to win the slam dunk contest, Badou Jack was trying to win the skills competition during like NBA All-Star Weekend or something like that. And Jack, excuse me, was just very impressive. I thought he should have got the win. It's really a shame that it's looking like he's probably going to be fighting at light heavyweight from now on, as Floyd Mayweather said in the post-fight interview. Degale was talking about he wanted to have a rematch. He'd like to take Jack over to London or something. But, I mean, considering how bad I think the scorecards were in New York, I don't think there's any chance of Mayweather putting any of his fighters into the UK, into enemy territory, man, where Eddie Hearn is the king and the Lord of Lords over there, man. So, yeah, just it really sucks to see a decision just not go the way that it seemed like it really should have. To me, Jack really proved that he's basically the top fighter at super middleweight. Pretty much top two, both of these guys were top two, top three, top four, somewhere in there. And this is a good win, or it should have been a win for Jack, a good performance at least. As for his prospects at light heavyweight, I'm not really thinking that they're especially bright. It really depends on exactly how things are going to go about. I do think that Jack has a good chance of defeating Andre Ward, should Ward continue his career, but he has the issues with the rematch with Kovalev. I'm not sure exactly how that contract is being negotiated or what that entails completely, but I think Jack could take Ward. As for Kovalev, that's a bit of a tougher prospect. That's a bit, with Jack's, somewhat issues with his chin, especially early. Even Degale was able to kind of catch him early with that shot that he didn't see. Although I think it was a bit more like a speed and balance thing. He did get momentarily stunned a couple of times here and there. So that does kind of worry me for him in a matchup against Kovalev. But otherwise, I think that'd be a very impressive boxing match. I think both guys do a lot of the fundamental aspects of the sport really well. And then Adonis Stevenson, that's an even tougher out, I think, especially considering the fact that he kind of was blinded to that straight left hand by Degale early on. That's Adonis Stevenson's money punch. That's a Sunday punch. That's a punch that he discombobulates people, has them gyrating on the floor and just falling all over the place with. So it's really tough for me to see Jack's overall quality at super middleweight, which I think that he's done a fantastic job. I thought back in 2015 he was, probably the fighter of the year, really, or at least a high level contender for it, and and I think that he kind of further solidified just his overall quality in this fight with Degale. But at light heavyweight, I think things get a little bit more dicey, especially with having a somewhat shaky chin at the very least. That's a very tough prospect when the top fighters at 175 are all bruisers. They're bone breakers. They're not stylists. They're not technicians. Where I think Jack would be able to have a technical advantage over. He might have a slight technical advantage, but that power will not just equalize, but completely take away any advantage that existed, regardless. So it's a tough one for him. As for James DeGale, he was talking about in the post-fight interview he was going to take over regardless of whether he rematches Jack or not. I don't see that. I think, especially with Jack gone, the best fighter at 168 pounds is Gilberto Ramirez. I'd love to see a fight between him and DeGale if they don't do the rematch between DeGale and Jack, which doesn't seem entirely likely considering what Floyd was talking about in the post-fight interview. But and it might be a tough fight to negotiate potentially. But I think Ramirez is just the classiest of the boxers at 168. I'd put Jack right around that stratosphere, though. I think it's a shame that Jack and Ramirez can't get it done, because I think that'd be a fantastic fight. I think that'd be a real fun display of just boxing skills and boxing technique. But that said, that's pretty much my review of the main event. I'll talk about Davis and Pedraza in a separate video, but I just wanted to get this one out there ASAP. Just fresh in my mind, fresh off of the semi-robbery, I guess I might call it. It was a fun fight, and DeGale definitely showed some heart, showed some will in there, but I just thought that he was outgunned. He was outclassed, he was outskilled. Jack pretty much dominated all of the fine points of boxing. Ring generalship, defense, effective aggressiveness, and clean punching. I thought Jack definitely scored higher and more rounds than DeGale did in all of those facets of the game and how you score fights. So that's it for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.